Hi, my name is Ramna and my personal blog is .netiq.com. You can visit my blog for more WCF videos and .NET videos. In this screenshot, I'm going to show you how to create a simple REST-based WCF service with JSON format. I'm not going to touch or cover what is the REST-based WCF service and which one is better, is REST-based service is better or SOAP-based, SOAP-based services is better, when to use REST-based and when to use SOAP-based, and is the JSON format is good or XML format is good or SOAP format is good. I'm not going to touch all those topics. I'm just straight away going to show how to create a simple REST-based WCF service. For this, I'm going to use the employee service which we created in our earlier previous sessions. If you see this employee service, we have a iEmployee service contract. It has three simple operations like adding employee and get employee by name and delete employee by ID. We have a behavior for this service behavior for this service contract which supports the SOAP based format. I'm not going to touch again it, because if you want you can visit my previous screenshot for this. And I created a new employee service JSON.svs file. So in the code behind, I implemented the service contract, iEmployee service contract. See here. So again, this service behavior, I'm specifying this a single instance of the object, like the same single instance of the object is going to serve all the requests. So it acts like a singleton object, and internally I have a list of the employee objects. It is going to, whatever the employees we add, we are going to add to this list, and if whatever the employees you are trying to retrieve, we are going to retrieve from this same list, local list. So basically we are storing the employees in process list objects. So suppose if you want to make a service like a JSON service, you need to decorate all the operations, you need to decorate with a few attributes. Those attributes are existed in the system.service model.web. So in this assembly, so I am using this as assembly for getting those attributes. So basically the JSON service means REST-based services is using the HTTP protocol to communicate. So it's a HTTP, it supports all the HTTP methods like get, post, put, delete, and all other HTTP like headers, and it supports all the HTTP methods. So if you are implementing an operation, you need to specify that it's what type of the HTTP method it is going to support. Like here the add employee. It is taking the employee as the object input parameter. So you are going to this we specified as the method as a post. So you have to post the input parameter. That's why in your URI template you see just I specified as a add employee. Whatever I specified the name in the URI template, in URL you can use that word and access that operation. If coming to here, if you see this response format, so here I am specifying that this operation is going to return the response in JSON format. Here I have two options, one is the JSON and one is the XML. I can pick any one of them. Since it is a JSON format example, I pick the JSON. Again the same way like get employees by name. I specified this method as a HTTP method as a get, so that get means you can pass the input parameters in query string. The input parameter for this operation is name, so I define my URI template like get employee by name and question mark, and this is the generally we pass the query string with the input parameters. If you want, you can define your own format also, like you don't need to specify a name equal, just you can this way also you can do it, but we already know that query, how we build the query string and how to retrieve the query string. So I'm just defining the query string format. Here again the response format I specified as a JSON. Similarly the delete method is also, it acts like it takes the input parameters in query string. So here also delete employee by ID, I am passing the employee ID in a query string. This is what we need to decorate with few attributes in service behavior class. Coming to the configuration, I define a endpoint for this particular service. I define a endpoint URL. I will show you here. Yes. Basically, we need to specify the binding for every endpoint URL. For particularly in the REST-based services, you need to use the binding as web HTTP binding. This is the service URL. See, if you see here, service name is this is the where we implemented the service, employee service JSON. See, if you see the endpoint URL, the address I specified the web because I want to distinguish. We have the two implementations, like two service behavior for the same service contract. iEmployee has the SOAP based implementation, iEmployee has the REST based implementation. For the SOAP based implementation, I specified the address as SOAP, and for the REST based implementation, I specified the address as web. Here the behavior configuration, you have behavior configuration, you can define it two levels, service level and endpoint level. So if you see this behavior configuration at endpoint level, because this is the more important thing in the configuration setting. In the endpoint behavior, if you see the behavior name employee service dot web dot employee service JSON behavior, I specified the web HTTP. This is the means this is the one setting you must give that for to make your service to work in the JSON format or REST based service. So don't forget to give this setting. The web HTTP means it you are telling that the service is going to communicate in HTTP web HTTP format. Again, the same way, like we have the contract is the same, like iEmployee contract, and address we specified as the web. ABC binding is the web HTTP binding. That's it. We don't have, means these are the simple configuration you need to specify for to make your REST based service to work. How we test this service? We have a tool called Fiddler. Using the Fiddler, you can test the HTTP, means all the HTTP methods. So already I have the few URL, like this service is running on my personal web server with port 3271. I'll show you. See here, localhost 3271 employee service JSON service. If I want to access anything, because in my address I specified as a web, from here I can specify the operation name, like whatever the URI type URI I specified, I can use those exactly the URI what I specified, I can use it and access those operations. First I'm going to add an employee. Using the Fiddler I'm doing that. Add employee is a post HTTP post method, so I need to make sure I'm selecting the post. Here I already selected the post. And one more thing is this is a content type application by JSON. This means because it's a request and response format is in JSON, so I need to specify that is in JSON. So since I specified it's JSON, I need to pass the request in JSON format. Employee class, if you convert in a JSON format, it looks like this. Employee ID, employee name, address, sample. I'm just passing this employee and I'm executing this. So I added the employee. So if you want, you can just change one more, you can add one more employee, like Sai, and I'm executing one more thing, and right. Good. We added two employees, and I'm going to use the get employee by name. If you remember, this is what we mentioned in the URI, and this is a get method. So make sure you selected the get. So when you selected the get, the request body is disabling, and I am going to execute this. I got the response back. If you see, this is my response, JSON, a response in JSON. I got the sample, name, Ramna, employee ID. That's it. And I'm going to execute the delete call also. See, in URI specified as a delete employee by ID, employee ID, I'm passing inquiry string. I'll show you real quick that. Yeah, delete employee by ID. This is what URI template I mentioned. Whatever you specified in the URI template, you have to use the same thing. It's no need to be the same as operation name. You can give whatever the name you want, and whatever you define in URI template, you have to use the same here. I'm executing here. So that's it. Let me see this. I will look into this. Okay. Oh, sorry. You know what? The delete method is a HTTP method is a delete. We are doing with the get method, so it's failing. If you select the delete and if you execute it, That's it, it's deleted. And if you want, there is one more employee, you can delete, it's deleted. That's it. If you want to make sure that means it is really deleted or not, you can do again a get call to make sure it's deleted. So only thing is, you need to show that what the HTTP method we define that operation. Since it's a get employee is a get method, so you need to select the get and do this. So if you see, nothing, we didn't get any response because we deleted all the employees. Okay, that's it. I think we can. I will cover the in my next screenshot about the cross domain. Means we have some cross domain issues when your client and your service is different. It's hosted in different places and it's a different environment. I will cover that how we can solve that problem in my next screenshot. Thank you. Bye.